Are we recording? Oh, good. We're recording. Okay, so let's do the journal. So, yeah. So, real quick, this is just an easy illustration. So, when you add three x's, you got three x's. These are x tiles. We tried to do the tiles yesterday, but these are x tiles, and that's another x tile. Which really, if you add them together, you combine them, you're looking at 4 of the x tiles, right? You guys agree with that? And then you've got your positive ones and your negative ones, and they group those together because they cancel each other out, right? Don't those cancel each other out, right? Because a positive one, each of these cancels, so you get a positive tile with a negative tile, another positive tile with another negative tile, they cancel each other out, right? And then what you're left with is just in the end, we go all the way down to just a 4x minus 3. But now there's an easier way to do this, right? Easy way to do this, just go straight to the algebra. But the key I want you to listen to, this, okay? Oscar, I know you're with me. The key is when I add 3x and x, I don't get any x squareds. I mean, it's just x's, right? I mean, you can see it, 3 x's. These are x tiles. And another x makes x tiles, not x squares. There are no x squared tiles, right? But then we take a look at the second part. These are squares, right? These are squares. These are x squareds, okay? Got it? They look like squares, right? So if I've got an x squared and then 2 of the x tiles plus 2 minus an x, when I get done, if I'm going to subtract the next tile, I can subtract the next tile, right? So this one here is going to cancel that one, right? That's going to cancel that one, right? And then we're going to have this plus 1 here with this minus 1, and they're going to kind of cancel, right? But I'm going to go minus a minus. And this is where it gets tricky. We have to be careful. So I don't like to use the tiles, personally. I like to do it using good old-fashioned algebra. So let me show you how I do it. Okay, you watching? So here's how I like to do it. Here's a negative. You've got to be really careful with negatives, because we're going to subtract a negative. We're going to, watch this, we're going to subtract a negative 1. Everybody watching? So when we subtract a negative 1, we got to be careful, because when we subtract a negative 1, it becomes a positive. So what I'm going to do is bring this negative through. So I'm going to rewrite the x squared plus 2x plus 2, right? And watch what I do. Everybody watching? It's only when you subtract, you have to be careful. I'm going to subtract an x, but I'm going to subtract a negative 1. I'm going to subtract a negative 1, which makes it a positive 1. I'm going to subtract a negative 1. You guys see how I subtract a negative 1 makes a positive 1? So then I can combine it. Okay, x squared. That's the only x squared. I've got a 2x minus an x. So it's like taking away an x tile. Leaves a 1x. I've got a 2 plus a 1 makes a 3. Okay. Now we're going to turn the page, and hopefully we'll see the same illustration. X squared plus 1x plus 3. So if we turn the page, that's what they wound up with, was an x squared, right, plus a 1x plus 3, okay? So that's using tiles, okay? So let's go ahead and communicate our answers. So how can you add or subtract these are called polynomials, okay? These are called polynomials, okay? So polynomials, when we add or subtract polynomials, first thing that I want us to write, let's write this down, okay? Only add like terms. Only add like terms. What does that mean? What does that mean? Only add like terms. Hey, sis, what does that mean? Only add like terms. What the heck? What does that mean? Well, do we add x squareds with the x cubes? No. Do we add x squareds with x's? No. We add x squareds with x squareds. Okay. We add y's with y's. We add y squareds to y squareds. We add z's to z's, but we don't add x's to y's. They're different. Okay. Second thing we do, gotta remember. Okay. Okay. Don't add exponents. Shh. So let's take a look at example 4. Okay. So example 4. Oh, one more thing I want to put up here. When you subtract, we're going to bring the negative through. And I'll show you what that means. Okay, write that down. Write that down. So we subtract. We're going to bring the negative through, okay? Write that down, please. Okay? So let's do 4a. Are we ready to do 4a? So we're adding. I have 1x squared and I have 2x squareds. So I'll have a total of 3x squareds. There are no x to the fourth. There are no x. Do you see any x to the fourth? Big mistake kids make. They want to make it an x to the fourth. There are no x to the fourth. I've got an x squared. I got 2 more. I get a 3x squared. There are no x to the fourth. Have I said it enough times? So many kids will add these and make an x to the fourth. I don't see an x to the fourth up here. Do you? No. I've got a 2x subtracted 2x. What happens there? They just cancel each other out, don't they? Right? And I've got a negative 1 and 1. What happens there? Cancel each other out. There's my answer. Thumbs up, sideways, where you at? Thumbs up, sideways, okay. 2 thumbs up, I like that, Katie. Okay, how about number 2? What do you think? How about number 2? I've got a 4x plus an x. What do I get? 5x. Who said plus 1? Sasha said plus 1. Where did Sasha get plus 1 from? Easy? Easy? Everybody thumbs up on that? Pretty easy? So if they're the same, add them or subtract them. If they're not, don't. Okay, now, number C. Okay? All right, watch this. Watch carefully, okay? Negative. Negative. So when you subtract, we got to be careful, okay? For subtraction, we got to be careful. I'm going to push the negative through. Always do this. Because you're going to get these double negatives and they're going to mess you up. Always push the negative through. So I'm going to rewrite it. I'm going to have my x squared plus 2. And then I'm going to push the negative through. I'm going to get a negative 3x squared. I'm going to get a negative 2x and a negative 5. Push, when it says subtract, with the parentheses, push the negative through, okay? So what happens now is we can just combine it. I've made all of these negative because of the subtract. So negative and subtract sometimes are the same thing. Negative and subtract sometimes are the same thing. In this case, I brought through the negative, but it looks like a subtraction, right? Now I can combine. I've got a 1x squared minus 3x squared makes a negative 1x squared, right? That's the only x. You guys see any other x's? Any other x's? So write it down. I've got a 2 minus 5. How about a negative 3? Okay, I want you to do D. Give D a try. I want you to do D on your own. Try D on your own. Okay? Try D on your own. Okay? If you get it wrong, nobody's ever going to know. Okay? So try D on your own. Just try it. You just got to try, right? Try D on your own. Okay? Try D on your own. Hint, push the negative through, okay? Okay, try, you got try. Try. I am recording this. Try. So when your parents see this, when you got a big F, I'll say, I don't know how many times I said try, and your parents will go, well, my kid didn't try. No, your kid did not try. Try. Okay? First step, if you are trying, bring the negative through, right? 2x minus 3 minus x squared plus 2x minus 4. Okay, see the plus 2x? Because I brought the negative through. I pushed the negative through, and a negative with a negative is a positive, right? So everybody okay with the first step? Push the negative through. Second step, that's the only x squared, right? We write that first because we want it in order. X squareds go first. Negative x squared, okay? Plus 4x minus 7. Hands up if you got that one right. Okay? Did I forget something? Oh, that is an x. I made a mistake. Whoops. Okay, Sasha. Negative x squared minus a 1x minus 4. I did. I will even admit it on film.
Hey, that's what I got.
Okay, well, let's get some vocabulary, okay? Now, shh. So monomial. So polynomials. These are called polynomials. Okay, poly. Poly means many. Okay, poly means many. Okay, and so you can have big, long, ugly equations, and they're called polynomials. The big key to polynomials that's important, that we'll know more in Algebra 2, is that they must have whole number exponents. Okay? And all of the exponents are going to be regular numbers. Okay? That's what makes it a polynomial. Okay? Okay, write that down. Polynomials, whole number exponents. Okay? And all of these are polynomials. All of our exponents will always be whole numbers. We won't see anything else. Okay? We won't see negative exponents. We won't see fractional exponents. We're going to see whole number exponents. Okay? Now, monomial. What do you think a monomial would be?
One.
One. Perfect. It's one term. One term. Okay, give you an example. How about 3x squared? That's a monomial, one term. What separates terms are plus and minuses, right? So, nice job. Okay, so the degree. The degree is the sum of all the exponents for the biggest term. Okay? So the degree is the exponents. The degree is the exponents, okay? So the degree is the exponents. But let me give you an example, okay? Let me give you an example, okay? So if we needed a polynomial, which means many terms, I want to give you an example, okay? If I have a 3x squared y plus a 5x squared y cubed minus a xy to the fifth plus 2, okay? This is a polynomial. Oh man, that's a big ugly thing. But it's many terms. In fact, it's got 4 terms. It's got 4 terms. There is no such thing as a quad. There's no such thing as a quadnomial. We go monomial, binomial, trinomial, and then anything beyond that we just call poly. Okay, got it? 4 or more we call it a poly. Got it? Because then otherwise you got this thing called a quadnomial and a pentonomial and a hexanomial and an octanomial. It sounds kind of dumb, doesn't it? So, anything more than 3, 4 or more is called a polynomial. Now take a look at this, okay? Okay? Ready? I want you to watch. The degree of this one is 6. The degree of this is 6. This is very important to get it right. Okay? So, check it out. This has exponents of 3. The 2 and the 1. This has exponents of 5. Do you see the 5? This exponent has an exponent of 6. You see the 6? Because there's a 1 here we don't write. And this has 0. Okay, I'll do it again. This has this has a combination of 3, 2 and 1, 5. Look at the exponents. Look at the exponents. 6, because there's a 1 right here, and none. So we're looking for the biggest term. And that's that one right there, okay? So this has a degree of 6, okay? All right, now binomial. 2 terms, right? 2 terms. Example, if I have a 5x squared y plus a 10 x to the 4th, okay? There's my example, okay? Okay, that's binomial, 2 terms, right? What's the degree of this one? What's the degree? What's the degree? What's the biggest exponent? 4. This one's 3. See how that one's 3? This one's 4. It's always the biggest. Degree is 4. Hear that? The degree is always the biggest. This has a 4. This has a 3. The degree is 4. It's that easy, okay? Trinomial. How many terms? Cody.
Why do only the variables have exponents? Why don't the normal numbers have them?
They could, but if we put an exponent here like 2, we just change that to 25.
Okay.
Right? Does that make sense? Yeah. I mean, they could. Okay, trinomial. 3 terms, right? 3 terms. So we can, as an example, I can go at 3x squared plus a 4xy to the 5th plus 7x. Okay, that's a trinomial. 1, 2, 3 terms. And I keep putting pluses, but you can put minuses in between. So it's the plus and minuses that separate the terms. Okay, this is not hard. So what's the degree of this trinomial? What's the degree? What's the degree of this trinomial? 6. This is 2. See the 2? This is 1. This is going to be 6. Okay, this is 6 because of the 1 right here. Okay, nice job. You guys getting it? You guys getting it? So it's the biggest exponent. This is a 6, so it's a degree 6. Okay, degree of the polynomial. It'll tell you the behavior of the graph eventually. Okay, and we will. Okay, degree of the polynomial, then we know is the, what are we going to say? What's the degree? It's just the biggest exponent, right? Biggest exponent. Now, standard form. Standard form. Biggest to smallest. When we rewrite them, standard form, we're going to rewrite from biggest to smallest. Okay, and I'll do one of these, okay? So, I'm going to scoot this one here. I'm going to take this one here. And I'm going to rewrite it, okay? So, I'm going to rewrite it down here. So, here's the thing. To be in standard form, you got to put your biggest to your smallest. This is my biggest. Has to do with the exponents. This is my biggest. It has to lead the way. It's got to go first. We let our biggest dude lead the way, right? Biggest dude into battle. This is our biggest guy, so it goes first. Negative. See the negative? X, y to the 5th. Okay, in here, what's the next biggest? What's the next biggest? What's the next biggest? That one. Why is that the next biggest one? What's its exponent? 5, right? So plus 5x squared y cubed, okay? What's the next biggest up here? What's the next biggest up here? 3x squared y, right? Plus 3x squared y. What's the smallest here? Plus 2. So in what we call standard form, you always write it from the biggest. We're talking about the exponents. This has a degree of 6, degree of 5, degree of 3, degree of 0. Okay, you see that? So you always write the biggest first. This is the biggest because of the exponents. Not because of the 1, not because of the negative 1. In fact, that's a little number, right? We're going the biggest exponents. Man, boom, 6, 5, 3, 0, right? Now, the leading coefficient is the very first number that leads the charge. What's the number that leads the charge? Negative 1 is my leading coefficient. Coefficient's a number. The term coefficient's a number in front of a variable. So our leading coefficient is negative 1. Once you rewrite it in order, and you got your biggest first, then this number leads the way, right? That's my leading coefficient. It leads the way. It's the first number. That's my leading coefficient. Thumbs up so far? Okay. All right, good. And you know, you can use these on your quiz, right? So you want to take good notes. Now, closed. What do they mean by closed? I'll come back to that. I'm not sure. Huh? I'm not sure what they mean by closed. We'll come back to that, okay? All right, so turn the page. Ready? Let's go right down to, I want you to go all the way down to 1. Okay? Okay? What's the degree? What's the degree of number 1? 1. Who said 1? Totally right. How come? There's a little 1 right here we don't write. What's the degree of this one? Number 2? 1.
Computer password.
Yeah, right. Number 3, what's that?
4. 1.
0. You know why? There's a number, there's no x's, right? There's no x's, right? How about 4? What's the degree of 4? 3. Everybody agree with 3? Because you got a 1, 1, 1, 3. Okay. How about 5? What's the degree of 5?
4.
3.
3, yeah. Sure.
What's the degree of 6? Who said 6? 6 is right. Because I got 2, 3, and one more makes 6. What's the degree of 7?
4.
Is this easy or what? And 8, don't be tricked. What's the degree of 8? 0. Degree of 0. Okay, thumbs up. Let me see, thumbs up. So degree is pretty easy, isn't it? You guys agree degree is pretty easy? Just look at your exponents, add up your exponents, and that's your degree, okay? All right, now, let's slide it over here. Okay, number 9. So first of all, standard form. We're going to rewrite this. So rewrite the polynomial in standard form and identify the degree and the leading coefficient. So first of all, it's not in order. I need to rewrite this. What's the biggest term? So write that first. What's the next biggest term? Plus x plus 5. What's our leading coefficient?
3.
I totally agree. Easy, squeezy, lemon peasy, huh?
Okay, sure.
Okay, how about 11? I got to rewrite 11. Oh, what's the name of this thing, by the way? It has a name. What's the name of this?
Polynomial.
This, but it has three.
Trinomial.
It's got 3 terms. Trinomial. Okay, 10. What's the? It's already in standard form because it's only one, right? There's only one term, so it's already. We don't have to rewrite it because there's only one thing, right? What's the degree? 1. And what's it called? What's it called? Monomial, because it's one term, right? Monomial, okay. 11. Let's rewrite 11. What goes first? 6x to the 8th, right? Plus 3x to the 5th, okay. What's our leading coefficient? 6, right? It leads charge. What's the name of this thing? Binomial. Binomial. Good. Is this getting easy? Right? Okay. Number 12. What do we got for 12? Let's rewrite it. F4. Then what? Plus F2. Then what? Minus 2F. Perfect. What's the degree? Degree is what? 4. What's our leading coefficient? There's a 1 that we don't normally write, but there's a 1 there, okay? You all right with the 1? Okay, okay with the 1? Okay. How are we doing? Thumbs up? Thumbs up? Okay. All right. 13. Shh, Ben, put your computer down. Bijou, put your computer down. Okay. 13, let's add them. What do we get? 13, what am I going to get for an answer? What am I going to get?
Negative 24x squared.
No, I'm adding. I'm going to get a 2x.
You're stupid.
Yeah, minus 5. Did you see the 2x minus 5? Okay, how about 14? What are we going to get?
4a
4a
plus 3.
plus 3. Nice. Okay. 15. What are we going to get at 15? Okay. 15. X squareds are gone, right? Don't they cancel each other out? You okay with that? They just cancel each other out. How about a 9x? Keep going.
9x plus 1.
Yes. Yes. Everybody agree? 16. What do we got? 16. What do we have? 3. There's going to be 3. There's 3 because there's 1 here, right? 2 plus 1 more. 3t squared, right?
Yeah. 3t cubed.
Plus,
Wait, but then we have to subtract the t squared.
so we're going to have a positive 1t cubed. You okay with that?
Yeah.
What else we got?
7t.
Yeah, this is the only 7t, right? No other other t's. Plus 7t, what? And then minus 3. Now it's not in order, is it? It's not in order. So I should rewrite it. I should rewrite it in order. I should go 1t cubed plus 3t squared plus 7t minus 3. That's in order, okay? We want to put it in standard order. Biggest exponent down to the end, okay? This isn't that bad, is it? It's not that bad. I mean, math can be hard, but this is not that hard. Okay, now, on subtract. Please do yourself a favor and bring the negative through. Always try and bring the negative through. So I'm going to rewrite it. I'm going to rewrite this as first a g minus 4 minus a 3g plus 6. Plus 6. Plus 6. Plus 6 because the negative went through to the negative and made it a plus. Plus 6. So then, how about a negative 2g plus 2? Okay? So, number 18. Let's bring the negative through. Okay? First step, bring the negative through. Negative 5h minus 2 minus 7h minus 6. Okay? Bring the negative through first. Bring the negative through. And the reason I like to bring the negative through is I want to make sure over here I got a plus 6, right? So then answer negative 12h minus 8. Okay? 19. We're almost there, okay? 19. So, bring the negative through, right? Bring the negative through. I'm going to rewrite it first. This is a really important step. Some kids don't like to do this step, but it's going to keep you from making mistakes, okay? Got a negative x squared minus 5 plus a 3x squared. Plus a 3x squared, right? Double negative. Plus an x. Double negative. Plus an 8. Double negative. That's why it's so important to bring the negative through. Because if you don't bring the negative through, you're not going to be able to get a plus. These became positives, didn't they? Because the negative to the negative, the negative to the negative, and the negative to the negative, right? Because we know negative to the negative is a positive, right? And now, answer, I'm going to get a 2x squared, right? 2x squared plus a x plus 3. When you see subtraction with the parentheses, bring the negative through. When you see subtraction with the negatives, bring the negative through. Okay, so 20, same thing. I see subtraction with the negatives, bring the negative through. Okay, so I'm going to rewrite it. I'm going to get a k squared plus a 6k cubed minus 4. I'm going to get a minus 5k cubed minus 7k plus 3k squared. Okay, so I brought the negative through, right? Brought the negative through. Minus 5k cubed minus 7k and plus 3k squared, right? Now, let's tidy it up. I'm going to put my k's first, my k cubes first, because they're the biggest. So I'm going to answer it as a negative 2k cubed, because I put, oh, I'm wrong. I am wrong, because there's another one here, isn't there?
Yeah. That's a lot of case.
Wait a minute, I made a mistake somewhere. Oh no, these two make a 1k cube. There we go. This is going to be a minus 6k. And then my 6. Hold on, I'm making a mistake here. I am making a mistake. Let me double check my word.
What? You made a mistake.
I did. K
All our
cubes.
parents are gonna see that you made a mistake.
I did. Okay, that's my 1k. I am. Oh, gotta get my squares in there.
Everyone's here.
So I'll have it out of order.
Watch it anyway.
Plus a 3k squared minus 4. And then I'll rewrite it in order. Finally, in order, k cubed plus 3k squared minus 6k minus 4. Okay, now, your assignment